Whispers of the Willow Tree. In the quaint coastal town of Harbor's Edge, where the sea whispered secrets to the cliffs and the wind carried the scent of salt and wildflowers, lived Emma Hartley. She was a 28-year-old bookstore owner, with auburn hair that cascaded like autumn leaves and eyes the color of storm-tossed waves. Emma had inherited the shop, Pages by the Sea, from her grandmother, a place filled with dusty tomes and the faint aroma of aged paper. Her days were spent arranging shelves, recommending novels to locals, and escaping into stories where love always triumphed. But in her own life, love had been a fleeting visitor, leaving behind only echoes of what-ifs. Across town, in a modest studio apartment overlooking the harbor, resided Liam Whitaker. At 30, he was a marine biologist, dedicated to studying the fragile ecosystems of the bay. With sun-kissed skin, tousled dark hair, and a smile that could melt the iciest of hearts, Liam spent his mornings diving into the cold waters, cataloging sea life, and his evenings sketching the creatures he encountered. He had moved to Harbor's Edge 5 years ago, fleeing the chaos of city life after a painful breakup that had shattered his trust in relationships. Now, he found solace in the rhythm of the ocean, convinced that the ocean's vastness was enough to fill the void in his heart. Their paths first crossed on a crisp autumn afternoon. Emma was closing up the bookstore early, eager to attend the annual Harvest Festival. As she locked the door, a gust of wind snatched a stack of flyers from her hands, scattering them like confetti across the streets. One landed at Liam's feet as he walked by, carrying a thermos of coffee and a notebook filled with observations from his latest dive. "Excuse me," Emma called, chasing after the errant paper. "That's mine." Liam bent down, picking it up with a chuckle. "Harvest Festival? Sounds fun. Here you go." He handed it back, their fingers brushing momentarily. In that instant, something sparked, a warmth that neither could ignore. "Thanks," Emma said, her cheeks flushing under his gaze. "I'm Emma. I run the bookstore over there." "Liam," he replied, nodding toward the harbor. "I work with the sea creatures. Nice to meet you." What started as a polite exchange turned into a conversation that stretched into the evening. They wandered to the festival together, sharing laughs over caramel edibles and hayrides. Emma spoke of her favorite books, how they transported her to worlds unknown. Liam shared stories of underwater adventures, the beauty of coral reefs, and the mystery of bioluminescent plankton. By the time the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, they exchanged numbers, promising to meet again. Their second meeting was intentional. Liam invited Emma to join him on a boat tour of the bay. Nervous but excited, she agreed. As the boat cut through the waves, Liam pointed out dolphins leaping in the distance and explained the importance of preserving the marine habitat. Emma listened, captivated not just by the knowledge, but by the passion in his voice. "You're like a poet of the ocean," she teased, leaning against the railing. He grinned. "And you're the guardian of stories. We both deal in wonders, don't we?" That day, under the vast blue sky, they shared their first kiss. It was tentative at first, then deepening with the pull of the tide. From then on, their lives intertwined like vines on a trellis. Winter arrived, blanketing Harbor's Edge in a soft layer of snow. Emma and Liam spent evenings by the fireplace in her apartment above the bookstore. She'd read out loud from classic romances, Jane Austen, Bronte sisters, while he sketched her profile, capturing the way firelight danced in her eyes. They cooked meals together, experimenting with seafood recipes from Liam's catches, laughing when disasters occurred, like the time the lobster bisque boiled over. But love, as in the best stories, wasn't without its storms. Liam's work demanded long hours, sometimes pulling him away for research trips. Emma, tied to her shop, felt the pangs of loneliness creep in. One evening, after he'd canceled dinner plans for the third time that month, tension boiled over. "You're always out there with the ocean," Emma said, her voice trembling as they stood in her kitchen. "What about us? Am I just a shore you return to when it's convenient?" Liam ran a hand through his hair, frustration etching his features. "Emma, this is my job, my purpose. I thought you understood that." "I do, but I need you here too, not just in body, but in heart." The argument ended with slammed doors and silent nights. For a week, they avoided each other, the town feeling smaller and colder without their shared warmth. Emma buried herself in work, reorganizing shelves until her hands ached. Liam dove deeper into his research, staring at data screens until his eyes blurred, but neither could escape the ache in their chests. It was under the old willow tree by the harbor, a massive ancient sentinel with branches that wept like lovers' tears, that reconciliation found them. Emma had gone there to clear her mind, a place her grandmother had called the heart of the town. To her surprise, Liam was already there, sitting on the gnarled roots, sketching the tree's form. "I couldn't stay away," he admitted as she approached. "This tree, it's been here through storms and calm, and maybe we can be like that." Emma sat beside him, their shoulders touching. "I'm sorry. I don't want to clip your wings. I just miss you." "And I miss you every second I'm gone," he replied, taking her hand. "Let's find a balance. I'll make more time, and you can come on some trips with me." They sealed the promise with a kiss under the willow's canopy, the leaves rustling like applause. Spring brought renewal. Flowers bloomed along the cliffs, and their love flourished. They explored hidden coves, picnicking on sandy beaches where waves lapped at their feet. Emma introduced Liam to the joy of reading poetry out loud at sunset, while he taught her to snorkel, revealing the underwater world's vibrant colors. Their friends in town whispered about the perfect couple, but Emma and Liam knew perfection was a myth. It was the effort that made it real. One weekend, they drove up the coast to a lighthouse retreat. The structure stood tall against crashing waves, a beacon in the night. In the cozy room at its base, with the sound of the sea as their lullaby, they shared dreams for the future. "I want to travel with you," Emma said, tracing patterns on his chest. "And I want to build a life here with you. Maybe expand the bookstore, add a section on marine life." Laughter filled the air, followed by tender moments that deepened their bond. That night, as stars wheeled overhead, they made love with the passion of rediscovered souls, bodies entwining like the roots of the willow. But fate, ever the unpredictable author, introduced a twist. Summer arrived with news that shook their world. Liam's research grant was expiring, and a prestigious position opened in a distant city, offering resources Harbor's Edge couldn't match. It was a dream opportunity, but accepting it meant leaving everything behind, including Emma. "I have to go," he told her one evening as they walked along the beach. The sun was setting, casting long shadows. "And what about us? Are you asking me to come?" He hesitated. "Your shop is here. Your life is here. I can't ask you to uproot everything." Tears stung her eyes. "So you're just leaving? After all this?" The argument echoed their earlier one, but this time the stakes were higher. Days turned into a blur of silence and sorrow. Emma threw herself into the bookstore, hosting events to distract herself. Liam dove deeper into his research, staring at data screens until his eyes blurred, but neither could escape the ache in their chests. It was under the old willow tree by the harbor, a massive ancient sentinel with branches that wept like lovers' tears, that reconciliation found them. Emma had gone there to clear her mind, a place her grandmother had called the heart of the town. To her surprise, Liam was already there, sitting on the gnarled roots, sketching the tree's form. "I couldn't stay away," he admitted as she approached. "This tree, it's been here through storms and calm. Maybe we can be like that." Emma sat beside him, their shoulders touching. "I'm sorry. I don't want to clip your wings. I just miss you." "And I miss you every second I'm gone," he replied, taking her hand. "Let's find a balance. I'll make more time, and you can come on some trips with me." They sealed the promise with a kiss under the willow's canopy, the leaves rustling like applause. Spring brought renewal. Flowers bloomed along the cliffs, and their love flourished. They explored hidden coves, picnicking on sandy beaches where waves lapped at their feet. Emma introduced Liam to the joy of reading poetry out loud at sunset, while he taught her to snorkel, revealing the underwater world's vibrant colors. Their friends in town whispered about the perfect couple, but Emma and Liam knew perfection was a myth. It was the effort that made it real.